Hi, my name is Alvin Steele, technician with Super Tech Refrigeration. Here to do a walk-in cooler install. We got a crane in the background out here at City View, Austell, Georgia. Yeah, at this current time, we're about to make it happen. I'm gonna have him throw my tools up there so I don't gotta rope them up. All my heavier tools at least. Can you bring the block down?
Crane guy, I see that.
I need you, the boom stick, I need to come in.
So what we're doing right now, we just got the crane to lift most of the heavier tools up on the roof so we didn't have to waste a lot of time. The instructions that I was giving were boom up, boom down, cable in, cable out. And
He had a different instruction where I usually do boom in, boom out, boom down, boom up, cable up, cable down. Now, one thing about a crane, you cannot let this red block touch anything, because if you let this red block touch anything, that red block is the counterweight to keep that cable taut on that crane. And I had to learn that from the crane people, because they're like, if you let that block touch anything, it unwinds the cable to the crane. That's how they get the wires, that cable off the crane, is by letting that block lose tension. I didn't know that. So you cannot let that block touch anything at any cost, or you will lose tension. So once I get these straps off of here, I'm going to use my oxygen and acetylene to unsweat my line set from the unit. Once unsweated, I could be able to fully remove the unit from the roof via the crane. So what we're going to be doing is unsweating the dryer and the sight glass, in the sense that we're going to sweat from right here to remove the sight glass and dryer from this unit, and then we're going to cut this insulation back to remove this suction valve away from this unit. And then I'm going to take this conduit, remove it from my terminal or inside my electrical box, remove that, and then we're going to get these straps under here, get this sent up out of here. So what I'm doing right now is heating up the joints to my weld. There you go. The same thing with this. Okay. All right, so we just disconnected the line set and electrical from the unit. So we're gonna get these straps strapped onto it and then we'll connect to the block and have this thing lifted up in the air. I'm gonna have him put that on the back of my truck. So I'm gonna go downstairs, tell him where to put it. No, not yet. I got it.
we done had the other unit dismounted, used the crane to mount the other unit on top of the roof. At this current moment, we're gonna get some bolts and everything to screw it into the 2x4s so that this doesn't vibrate as much. And then at this current moment, what I'm doing is taking these refrigeration lines and bending them in a way that I could still use them for work in a case of, without crimping them. You don't want to crimp your lines, you just want to be able to bend them. We're gonna try to see if we can keep this and just still use this. If not, I will cut it in a way that it looks prettier, but I'm just trying to see if I can just manipulate this high side discharge line, liquid line right here. Actually, it's not the discharge line, this is the liquid line coming out of the condensing unit, coming out of the receiver, coming out of the filter dryer, going into the unit, coming into my liquid line solenoid, and then going into my TXV next. So what I'm doing right now is taking out the line set and the refrigeration and getting prepared for the unit in the sense of installment. So what I'm doing, guys, is pretty much taking out the line set and getting it prepped and ready to get brazed in to the unit. In the cases, this is flex line set, comes with insulation on it. What I'm gonna be doing is cutting it back so I can be able to run it to the pre-existing suction line that was already there. And in the case of that pre-existing suction line, it's a little bigger than what we have now. I want to say we got a 5/8 suction line. Theirs is way bigger than ours. And I'm gonna show you a technique on how to match up suction lines regardless if they're not the same. But the first thing, this thing is trying to crimp itself. If it crimps itself, it's considered a restriction. You can't get refrigerant flow on a crimped line. So right here, I'm gonna cut on my suction line set with my tubing cutters. So first you want to score it. You want to score the copper in a way that allows you to have a track and a groove. So when you start applying pressure and actually cutting it down into it, it doesn't make a thread like in some cases. And you don't want to make it too tight in a way that it bends the copper via pressure and not cutting it. You want to cut your tube, not bend your tube. So with this is a good start. So we're gonna come out a little long. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it closer in the case of coming out, coming out, coming out. So we're gonna cut it coming here, 90, 90, and then up. Oh, like I said, once you open it up, what I'm doing right now is taking off the tab. So I'm gonna start getting ready to braze. After I got done soldering and sweating in the unit, I mean the line set, the suction side of the line set, right now what I'm doing is just checking to make sure there's no leaks or any visible air gaps that I see that will cause leaks when I do my pressure test. To speed up the process of getting out of here, I'm going to keep building this. Even because it's new copper, it doesn't mean you have to clean it, but even new copper, you get a brighter sheen to it and make it look like the copper that you're looking at. Get some heat going. So the premise is to get this thing good and red, good hot. Good scorching red metal, the metal that you see off TV shows when they torture people. But once it's that hot, you gotta start applying your solder, or you could burn a hole in the exact same thing you're trying to weld together. Check it, and then you would throw your other pipe on there real fast. See, I got a hole right there. Solder and then make a full connection all the way around. So I gotta come back around on that side. Yep, it's sawed all the way around. A little drip at the bottom, but it's okay. Viper cloth, pretty cool. Like it. Doing the job. Let's check some of this. Yeah, I'm. Which is not. It's not really, you don't really want to do stuff like that all the time due to
That's all right, sorry, man.
Yeah.